Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Turbo Nemo coming at you with yet another video, and today we have a lot of things to talk about, so without further delay, let's just jump right into this video. Now, our very first subject is coming from Valve, and they actually just released a statement regarding all of the CSGO gambling websites, and they're basically putting a stop to all of these gambling sites that are abusing their OpenID API. Now, they actually released this statement because of all the scandals that have been happening in CSGO right now, the biggest one being Team Martin and Syndicate being the owners of the website called CSGOLotto.com. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read out the statement from Eric Johnson at Valve, and he said, in 2011 we added a feature on Steam that enabled users to trade in-game items as a way to make it easier for people to get the items they wanted, especially in games featuring in-game economies. And then he said, since then a number of gambling sites started leveraging the Steam trading system, and there's been some false assumptions about our involvement with these sites. We'd like to clarify that we have no business relationship with any of these sites, we have never received any revenue from them, and Steam does not have a system for turning in-game items into real-world currency. So in that last paragraph, Steam is basically denying any involvement with these sites like CSGO Lotto, CSGO Wild, CSGO Diamond, and a bunch of other sites like that. Now, that last paragraph was basically covering their asses for a future lawsuit, so Valve definitely needed to say that. Now, in the next paragraph, he said that these sites have basically pieced their operations in a two-part fashion. First, they're using the OpenID API as a way for users to prove ownership of their Steam accounts and items. Any other information they obtain about a user's Steam account is either manually disclosed by the user or is obtained by the user's Steam community profile. Now, that's only when the user chooses to make their profile public. Second, they create automated Steam accounts that make the same web calls as individual Steam users. Now, if you didn't understand that paragraph, they're basically explaining how these gambling sites are able to, run their operations, and that all the Open API does is prove ownership of their Steam accounts and items, and basically the Steam user has to input the rest of the information. And that was them once again, making it look like that they're not liable. Now, the last paragraph is where it gets really juicy, and it says, using the OpenID API and making the same web calls as Steam users to run a gambling business is not allowed by our API nor our user agreements. And this is the part that's mind-blowing. It says, we're going to start sending notices to these sites requesting they cease operations through Steam and further pursue the matter as necessary. And then it said users should probably consider this information as they manage their in-game inventory and trade activity. So basically, Valve just dropped a freaking bombshell on the whole CSGO community. If you bet on any site and if you've got any skins that are on any gambling site, take them off right freaking now, because nobody's safe, guys. Like, I'm talking, this is the RIP skins movement. Valve is going to be shutting down all these gambling sites, so just get ready, people. So definitely secure your inventories, because I would hate to see people lose skins over all these sites getting shut down. Now, a lot of people are wondering, are sites like, OP skins safe? And it's honestly really hard to tell. I would say secure your inventories now so you don't regret it later. Now, CSGO has a very interesting economy. Now, a lot of people are asking themselves, will it tank the economy or will it, make it thrive even more? And that's really hard to tell, honestly. There's two scenarios that could happen. People could completely sell their skins and drive the prices down on a lot of skins, or the fact that all these gambling sites are gone, they could actually raise the price of skins because it's making it so it's a lot harder to obtain them. But I'm sure we're gonna find that out in due time. If there's a great CSGO market crash of 2016, that would be insane. Good thing I'm not actually in the market, but for everybody who is in the market, get ready for the depression, because it could possibly come. Now, moving right along to our very last topic, it's going to be about PewDiePie and this whole Warner Brothers situation with, the FTC, and I'm going to go in depth with it a little bit today. So basically what happened, the FTC slammed Warner Brothers for paying YouTubers to promote the game Shadow of Mordor, but the whole reason that the FTC kind of slammed down on them, that Warner Brothers didn't have clear guidelines for their YouTubers to actually disclose that it was a paid video. Now, the whole reason that PewDiePie is in the news is because apparently he was involved with the actual promotional deal with Warner Brothers, and a lot of these websites are slamming down hard on PewDiePie for saying that he didn't disclose that it was actually a paid video. Sites like The Verge, Mashable, and a bunch of other media outlets were basically slamming hard on PewDiePie for not disclosing that, it was a paid video, whenever PewDiePie made a video basically showing everybody that he did disclose that it was a paid video in the description. Now, obviously, that video was made like 2 years ago. This whole thing happened 2 years ago, and PewDiePie's biggest argument that I have to agree with is the FTC did not create YouTube guidelines for, paid sponsorships and stuff until 2015, and the promotional deal actually happened in 2013. So all these websites that are, kind of slamming down hard on PewDiePie are doing it to basically drive traffic to their websites, which, it makes sense. Everybody's got to make their money, but it's just kind of funny that, they have PewDiePie in the title, but he's like one of the few creators that actually disclosed that it was a paid video. I mean, hell, people, Warner Brothers didn't require their influencers to actually disclose that it was a paid video, so I gotta give mad props to PewDiePie for actually disclosing it. Now, I got a feeling over the next few months and probably the next year, you're gonna see a lot of YouTubers and a lot of these companies, you know, get slammed by the FTC for paying YouTubers to promote their products in videos that they didn't disclose were actually paid advertisements. So mark my words, this is not the last time we're gonna see a story about the FTC slamming down on a company that's negligent. But in the defense of Warner Brothers, the FTC only released their regulations for YouTube videos in 2015. So I can't really hate on them for something that happened, you know, 2 years ago. But yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps it up with this video. A lot has happened today in the gaming world. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. And if you guys could also do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, that would be very much appreciated. And until next time, this has been your boy Nemo, and I'm out. Peace.
Bring the madness.